Okay folks, come to a seated position. We're just going to do a lovely little juicy movie mat. Very easy but quite lovely. Looking at some movement of the ribs, some lateral movement and rotation. So start with the soles of your feet together, sit up nice and tall. Just take a really easy, lazy spine stretch forwards. So allow your head to drop. And then from your nose, start stirring. Imagine you've got a silver spoon on the end of your nose and you're just going to start stirring the soup. And as you do it, really allow your head to release and allow your shoulders to relax and stir the other way. Really easy, stirring. And then just bring yourself back up. Hands come up toward the knees and sit yourself up nice and tall. Okay, bring your arms to this side. So I want you to really lean into your right hand. Take the hand behind your back. And slowly drop your ear to your shoulder. Okay, and then from here, just nod yes and no. Nice and easy. Get a bit of a stretch going on through the neck there. And then bring your head back to center. Let's change sides. One hand behind the back, let the ear drop toward the shoulder. Tiny little movement, yes, or even no, just see. Sometimes it's kind of nice to hold it on a sticky point or a very tight point and breathe. Thought someone was going to come into the studio then. And then gently just bring yourself back up, okay? So let's just take a couple of lovely side bends. Nice and easy, nice and flowing. Keeping the sit bones grounded, warming up through the spine. Let's do one more to each side. The sun is shining through the studio this evening, and come up to upright. Just take a little easy rotation. So just looking back behind you, just lengthen up and take a deep inhale. Exhaling, just rotate round, just look over the shoulder. And then bring yourself back to center and just change over the other side. You always find one side will be easier than the other. Keep lengthening. And then bring yourself back to center. Take hold of your ribs here and you're going to shift the ribs. Shift the ribs. Shift the ribs. Keep nice and upright. Very tempting to lean back here. Just get that side to side movement going. Couple more of those. Last one. And then while we're here, really put your hands around your ribs, side ribs. Breathe. Exhale. Breathe. Exhale. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Last round. Exhale fully. So lovely bit of accordion breathing, okay? Now I want you to take your hand to the front and to the back of your ribs and breathe in again. And exhale. See if you can expand out the front and the back. 2 more times. 1 more. And then bring your arms down by your sides. Beautiful. Now we're going to come to 4-point kneeling. And you're going to have your hands slightly in front of your shoulders and your knees definitely underneath your hips. You're going to shift forward and back. Spread out the weight through your hands. Gently draw the abdominals in. First finger pointing forwards to the front edge of your mat. And then bring your hips over your knees, and I want you to come down onto your elbows here. Okay, so the hips are over the knees, you're down on your elbow. So I'm going to start with the left hand. I'm going to extend the left arm, and I'm going to look right over my left shoulder and come back down again. And the right arm extends, and I look over the right shoulder and lower back down. So keep going with this. Take your time, bringing it down. Just lift the abdominals lightly for some support for the lumbar spine. And back down. Couple more. Extend and bend. And 1 more. Extend and bend. Bring your toes together. Sit back right onto your heels. Reach your arms out in front of you. Breathe. Inhaling into those 4 corners that we just found. Front, back, 2 sides. One more breath. Exhale fully. And then gently bring yourselves up. Drag your hands towards your knees. Beautiful. Now, you're going to come onto your side and you're going to be in chair position legs. So bring your shins forwards to the front edge of your mat. Take your hands behind your head and just open your chest as much as you can towards the ceiling. The knees are going to stay stacked. Okay, so take a big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to bring yourself round elbow toward elbow. Inhale, you open out. And then exhaling, you bring yourself back round. So just a few of those. One of my favorite things to do at the moment. And back round. So you're turning your head, your neck, your upper chest, but your lumbar spine stays still, your hips stay forward. Let's just do 2 more of those. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. And 1 more. Inhale to open. Now I'm going to hold it open to the ceiling, okay? So the eyes should be looking straight up. And then you're going to lift your chest up, take a little sneaky peek at that top hip, and then go back down again, okay? So what I don't want you to do is pull on the head too much. Let's see if you can find some recruitment here on that side with the obliques to just lift the chest up and down. A couple more of those. Lift up and down. And last one, lift up and all the way down. Now what I'd like you to do is come to laying on your back and just come into your relaxation position. We're going to do the other side, but I just want you to feel something a minute. Just compare, okay? So come into your relaxation position. And then we're just sort of thinking about the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the spine. So I want you to compare sides. I want you to compare how much of your back is in the mat and where the areas that come away, where are they? So you might find that one shoulder blade sits flatter than the other because we've done a little work on the left side. So you might find that the left side is more into the mat than the right side. You might not. But just notice here, just notice any gaps. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just try and drop down through the back. Allow it to spread down and out. Couple more breaths. You might find one shoulder blade is up more than the other. Just kind of noticing any patterns. The neck is long. And then we're going to turn around onto the left side, okay? So you can turn round. I'm going to turn around and face you. So I'm doing it the other way. So bring your legs into your chair position, hands behind the head, gently open out toward the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to close the elbow toward the elbow. Do that again. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. And you might find that this side feels easier or tighter, more restrictive. That's what we're doing here. We're noticing some patterning and just being super aware of the body, left to right, and back round. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, hips forwards, knees forwards, open the chest. Exhaling, 1 more. You're going to hold this one open to the ceiling, and then you're going to lift the chest up. Take a look at that top hip, and lower back down. And again, lift the top hip, lift the chest. Take a little look at that top hip, and lower all the way back down. Lifting up. Try and find some recruitment in that side waist. 2 more. And back down, last one. And all the way back down. And then just check in. Come round onto your back. Square yourself up on your mat and just check in with how that feels. Take a breath or 2 here. Nice and easy. Hopefully that feels a little bit more even, like we're not going down a slope. Sometimes I feel like I'm going down one side. Another breath or 2 here. And then I want you to just place your feet nice and parallel, hip width apart. We're going to come up into bridge. So curl the tailbone to the back of the knees and gently lift yourself up into your bridge. Okay, so focusing on the big toe knuckles now. Really press down through your big toe knuckles. Keep the neck nice and long. You're going to lift your heels up without breaking at the ankles. Okay, so don't flick the ankles out to the side. You want to keep them nicely stacked. Now, as I press my heels down to the floor, I'm going to lift my hips up even higher. Okay, and then I'm going to do that again. So lift your heels. So as you press your heels down, your hips go higher. And lift your heels back up. 1 more of those. Press your rusty springs down into the ground. Lift your hips. Lovely. Then from here, you're going to take your arms up toward the ceiling. Root your shoulders down. Just stretch them overhead, level with your ears. Pause there. If you drag your heels towards your bottom a little bit, you'll get that forward momentum. As you exhale, knees forwards, arms back, each bone back down to the floor. Really nice and easy. Create some length in your spine. Drop your tailbone down. Release your arms all the way down by your sides. Bring the feet and knees together. Let's just take some arm circles. So breathe in, up and over, exhaling around. Palms go down, palms face forward and up. And then when they get to the high diagonal, you want to turn your palms down and around. A couple more times. Back ribs anchored into the floor, into the mat. 1 more time. Arms down by your sides. Beautiful. Now you're going to come onto your side. You're going to prop yourself up onto your hand. And then you're going to have what I call mermaid legs. So they're kind of slightly bent. Okay, take your top arm up towards the ceiling. Draw this shoulder back and down. It might fall forward, so keep it back and down. Take an inhale, look up. And as you exhale, you're going to thread the needle through. Inhale, you're going to open back up. Exhaling, thread the needle through. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhaling through. And 1 more, inhaling. And exhaling through. Good. Now from here, drop down onto the elbow. Okay, so you're going to be, now I want you to put your hand underneath your ribs and allow your ribs to drop. And then pull your ribs back away from your arm. Allow your ribs to drop. And pull your ribs away from your arm. Just a couple more of those. And pull, plug that shoulder in. And last one. And pull your ribs up and hold. Now from here, you might need to take your feet back a little bit. Maybe take your knees back a little bit. Can you lift up into a half plank? Okay, the hips are going to stay square. You can raise your top arm up or hold it onto your hip there and then lower back down with control. And again, lift from your underside, hips are square, head is back, and lower back down with control. 1 more of those. Lifting, little half plank, square the box off, hold it, hold it, hold it, take it back down with control. Slide down long on the arm, bring the knees back. So a little bit of an oyster here, but the knees, I'm going to bring the knees more or less in line with my hips if you can. Top hand here, you're going to lift the top knee up and slowly down. So let's get some recruitment here in the hip extensors and lower. And lift and lower. Three more. 2. And last one. And lower it back down. Let's turn ourselves around and do that on the other side. So, mermaid legs, come up on the hand. The hand is level with your hip. Okay, open the arm out, look up, look to the chest, the threading the needle. So exhaling, thread the needle through. Inhaling, open back out. Exhaling through. Inhaling, open back out. And again. And open. Let's do 1 more. And open out. Nice. Now place yourself down on the elbow, okay? And then get your hand underneath your ribs here. Allow your ribs to drop. And then plug that shoulder in and pull your ribs away. And again. Slumpy mode. And pull away. And again. And pull away. Let's do 1 more of those. Notice this shoulder might roll forward and collapse. Keep it back and down. Pull your ribs away. Now pause there. So we're going to come up into that little plank and lift the hips. So you're going to lift the hips up, hand to the hip or up towards the ceiling. Hold it there. Shoulder back. Square the box. And down. And again, lift up from that underside. And back down. 1 more time. And pull up. Hold it. Hold it. And take it back down. Slide out long on the arm. Bring the knees back in line with your hips if you can. Feet flexed, feet side by side. Lift the top knee up and down. Top knee up and down. Keep going, a few of these and down. 3 more. 2. And last one. Beautiful. Now I want you to come round on your tummy. So just bring yourself round. Bring your hands, one hand on top of the other. Rest your head down onto your hands. Lift one leg up out of the mat, put it down. Lift the other leg, lengthen it, put it down. Okay? Nice and easy in the shoulders. All I want you to do is pull away from your hands to create a little bit of upper body extension. Still looking down at the hands. Feeling even through the 2 hip bones here. I always pop off my left hip bone a little bit, so I must try and keep the weight through the hip bones nice and even. And then take it back down again. Do that again. So great exercise for getting that forward head posture back. You know, if you've been at a desk, if you've been driving, you want to get that head back and up. And take it back down. Let's just do 2 more of those. And lift. And back down, and 1 more. Used to call this diamond press, whatever you want to call it. I'm just thinking about the bottom ribs here. Am I even through the bottom ribs? One side might be off the mat, one side might be more heavy, and the same with the 2 hip bones. So there's my box. Just try and square that off as best you can. And then take yourself back down. Then bring your hands out front here. So keep the lowest ribs into the mat, okay? Elbows, you run your elbows a little bit. And just like we did in 4-point kneeling, I'm going to look over my right shoulder. I'm going to extend my right leg and look toward my right heel. Extend my right arm, sorry. And bend the elbow and look forward between the hands. And then the left arm is going to extend, and I'm going to look right back behind me, see if I can see my heel. And bend and return. Just do a couple more of those. Bend and return. Over the left shoulder. Bend and return. Let's do 1 more to each side. Keep even through the rib cage and the hips. And back down. And 1 more. And back down. And then lower yourself down, and with control, just sit back nice and easy into child's pose. Head down, breathe, inhaling, exhaling. Take that breath nice and high and wide. And then to finish, I just want to do a quick little hip flexor stretch. So bring yourself up. You're going to bring your left foot forward. And then you're going to sit up. I'm going to cut my head off, but you'll be able to see what's happening here. Keep your hips forwards, okay? If the right knee is dodgy here, just tuck your toe under or find some padding for underneath it. Tailbone action down. You're going to shift your hips forward. You're going to shift your hips back. Shift your hips forwards. Shift your hips back. A couple more of those, forwards and back. So just don't be collapsing. Think about crown of the head going upwards as you go forward. So you maintain a lovely bit of opposition there. Last one. And then you can hold it forward here. Engage the right glute. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling and have a big stretch. Reach from your right fingertips to your right kneecap. Hold it. And then hips back, arms down, and let's change sides. Right foot comes forward. Again, my knees are always a bit dodgy, so I like to tuck the toe under. It takes a little bit of load off the knee or get some padding. Okay, so when you're in your position, tailbone action, tummy's in, drive the hip forward and back. Drive the hip forward and back. Couple more. And you might want to hold this one forward, tummy's in, raise your left arm up, really reach to the ceiling, really open out that side, reach from your left fingertips to your kneecap. Breathe, maybe engage the left glute. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. And bring yourself back, arm down, and bring yourself round. Beautiful, folks. So there you have it, just a little stretch. Some things I've been looking at this term, so enjoy. Lots of love.